Hey, how are you doing? I hope you're great. Today we're talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 5, Episode 3, Jinaal. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this review. So we're on Trill this week, and do you know what? I genuinely was a little like, okay, maybe we'll get something cool in this episode. And you know what? In terms of special effects and everything, it looked great. I did have a little bit of a problem with a few things. This isn't my favorite episode of the season, and we've only had 3. But I was watching it, and it was great to see Gray again, but I don't think we needed to see Gray again. It was great to see Trill again. The mystery of the characters and how they interact with each other in terms of with Commander Rayner now. We get a storyline of Tilly trying to get him to connect to the crew. Michael pretty much orders him to make friends, and he doesn't really want to. And we sort of start to see a theme here. We get on Trill, Culber gets the spirit of Jinaal put in him from another Trill, and Culber. I was a little worried that Culber couldn't. The actor couldn't actually pull off like a different personality, and he does okay. Like, it's not Deep Space Nine and the quality of acting there, but it certainly is something that I feel was good enough. It was sort of there's a lot of focus on Culber this season, and I find that really interesting. And I think that as the show's wrapping up, we should see more of the side characters, and it seems to be that's what they're doing. I do think that they should be side characters in the same mission, though. Oo and is absent, and we get a really good thing of Linus. Rayner wants the crew members to say 20 words or less about them, something that no one knows. And they come in, and we get Linus, and we get a few other bridge crew. Linus is they procreate asexually, and he's really proud of his children. That story sort of thread through until eventually Tilly gets pissed off because he's only giving them 20 words, and Tilly becomes open. And this is why Tilly's one of the better characters, is that she cares about the chain of command, but she will call people on their shit. And I think that's a good thing that Tilly's sort of grown into over the seasons. In regards to Burnham going down to Trill with Blue and with Booker, the storyline's issue, Blue and Gray, they meet up, there's awkwardness. Stamets gets really excited over a scientific experiment back on the ship, but Blue and Gray meet up and they decide that they're going to break up, which is cute, but I don't need it. I also find the actor who plays Gray is not a great actor. But it was a sweet way of ending it, but you didn't need it. It just didn't make sense to me. Michael and Booker go with a now possessed Culber Jinaal to a quarry, a rock quarry. And that's the first thing I thought it looked like. Oh, okay, we're going rock quarry this time. And he's sort of talking, and I liked the excitement he had at being alive again. I do think that maybe they should have gone on the lines of he actively didn't want to leave, but there wasn't too much in this episode overall. So Booker and Michael are left to deal with these big aliens that are supposedly right next to where the next piece of the puzzle is. Jinaal leaves, and they're left to fight them. They're fighting them, and then they see some eggs, and Michael says, "Oh, now we need to connect with them." And I don't mind that. Like, they're giant big monsters. I wish they would stop looking so ugly. Like, every alien doesn't have to look ugly. Like, you can make cute aliens. Insert a moopsie. But I don't know. It's the whole episode to me felt a bit off. Now, I don't know how to put it. I feel like this was the cheaper episode. It just didn't really work for me, especially when we get to the end and Gray is talking about connection in terms of the trill, but it goes to the different characters talking about their connection to things, and I'm like, oh, it was the first time I felt like a little bit preached at in Discovery. Like, I don't mind them talking about issues and stuff like that, but this felt like they were actively talking to the audience, which is, I get they're trying to put a positive message forward, but I just was like, really? And then we get at the end Culber and Michael talking about what it means to discover the progenitors technology, and we find out that it's an elaborate technology that can create and bring people back to life, and it's basically God powers. And I don't think that's what it's going to be. I have 100% don't think that's what's going to be. It's going to be either something completely different, or it's going to be them finding that technology and destroying it so that no one can fuck around with things. That's pretty much how I felt with it. Like, the first two episodes were far better than this one. This one had like a preachy atmosphere. For some reason, there's a bar on Discovery now. I do enjoy... I think Rayner is a strong character. I think the Tilly and Rayner stuff was the stuff I was more interested in. And that says a lot, third episode in on an adventure quest story where they're getting clues. Like, the whole Jinaal at the end going, well, I just wanted to see whether you could connect with these species because we need people who could connect. And I'm just going, this was clear from the first minute you said anything. Overall, I want to say, like, with 3 episodes in, this wasn't a great episode of Discovery, and it wasn't really, I don't know how to put it, it didn't excite me for next week. But I think that's mainly because not much happens in this episode. And it also feels a little bit, I want to say, formulaic now. Like, the first episode was setting up the mystery box is there. The second episode we go to a planet and there's some weapons and something bad happens, and then they have to figure out this mystery, and it's amazing. And then this episode was, they go to a planet, they meet some aliens, they get under attack, and then they realize that it was all a trick. It's amazing. And I'm like, don't make every episode a journey to get one of these pieces of the puzzle. Unless that piece of the puzzle comes with a great story, I'm not going to be hugely interested. And I'm not saying that this wasn't okay, but this is the first time in Discovery where I've gone, okay, this was just okay. There was not much, I don't know how to put it. I sat there afterwards and I'm going, oh, okay, this was a bit dull. And I love all the characters, and I kind of get, like Ribbit117 said to me on the weekend, who hosts the Up Your Shaft podcast with me. He said, oh, I don't like Burnham's smile. And this season it does seem a little bit like she's trying to be, I don't even know. There's an extra airiness to her breath this episode, and an extra, like, there's all this booger in her attention, which I don't mind, but it just seems a little bit like, and here's my problem. I don't think she has the authority, and I mean that in a sense that, and I imagine it's because Shatner, Stewart, Mulgrew, and Brooks all had theatre backgrounds. So I don't think that she is as strong of a lead as they are, and I think that comes across particularly in scenes where she's trying to give orders. And look, when I watch these episodes, I don't want to pick on Michael Burnham. I think she is a great character. I think she's interesting. I'm having trouble connecting to her as the captain, kind of. She was okay last season, but this season it just seems a little bit... I'm a little worried this is going to turn into a religious message. And that's what it seems like. Whenever she talks about these progenitors, or whenever they talk about it, it has this weird religious overtone, and I'm not completely sold on it. Otherwise, I'd love to know what you guys think. I don't know, something about this felt wrong. I might give it a rewatch to see whether anything's changed, but to be honest, I liked the name drop of the Dominion War. I liked talking about the 24th century. I liked just the being with Trill and knowing what they're talking about. Because I literally watched the DS9 one where they all take personalities of Jadzia. So watching this, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And it was, but not as much as you'd think it'd be. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Trek Trav. Come back next week for another review. I hope that it picks up. I hope that they give us some really great stories. I think the first episode was hands down really great. Now you have to make every episode live up to that. And I don't know if Discovery's done that yet. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Trek Trav.